Good morning, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to Tallinn. It's a pleasure to be here today. My name is Maike. I am Visa's Regional Crypto Lead for Europe, and I'm very excited to talk to you a little bit about emerging trends in crypto for the next 15 minutes. I am part of a global team at Visa that looks into these exciting new trends of crypto and blockchain technologies. And we have at least several hundred people that are focusing on crypto or touching crypto in some capacity today. And so when we started that team in 2018, I feel confident to say by now we really feel we know crypto, and we also don't think it's a fad and it's going away. So yeah, by having said that, at Visa, we really want to add value to all forms of money movement, whether that's within the Visa network or whether that's outside of the Visa network. And in fact, crypto is a really good example of our network of network strategies. And what that means, we have the goal to bridge the existing crypto ecosystem with our existing system of 15,000 financial institutions and 130 million merchant locations that Visa has accepted. Now, when we talk about crypto, very often people think of crypto assets, but we don't have a particular view on the price. Personally, I like if the price goes up, but at Visa, we're more interested in the underlying technology and innovation, so the blockchain networks that underpin crypto, and then the token and the software that runs on top of it. And so, okay, necessary disclaimer. Today, I really wanted to focus on three big trends and show you what we get excited about, where we see the innovation, and then showcase a little bit of what Visa is doing in the space. So let's start with the new one, the first one, new computing platforms. And what do I mean with that? So blockchains is really a new set of technologies for us. And these new technologies, they can really power useful applications, whether it's in capital market, whether that's in payments, or whether that's in commerce. And as such, blockchain technologies are really improving constantly. So as the speed increases, the cost improves, and also the efficiency of blockchain networks, we really see these new applications and new use cases emerging in the space. Now, we recognize that we are still very early days, and it still takes a little bit of time for mainstream adoption. And so one of the metrics we're really getting excited about and that we're watching closely is the monthly developer activity that we see in the space. So you can see here now, developer activity is up to 22,000. And why is that exciting? Because these 20% of developers who are here in the conference, these are really the ones who are working on the innovation and who fuel the progress in the whole space. And important to note is that all of that activity has something novel about it. Developers can use the open source nature of crypto and really build on top of the applications that other people have powered before. And that, again, accelerates the pace of innovation, which is why this is an area we're looking into. A good example of how this could be, or how it was powered in the past, and where we see the application today is around stablecoins. Stablecoins are here today, and they are being used, in fact, quite a lot. So we have 90 million active users of stablecoins with a volume that goes up to 1.3 trillion today. But the question that Visa asks itself is, what's powering the usage of stablecoins? Why are people using it? And I have come up here with three use cases, and there may be multiple ones, but three ones where we're seeing a lot of activity happening. So the first one is around cross-border transfers. If you make a cross-border transfer today, it can take multiple days, it can be very costly, there are a lot of middlemen involved in the process. But if you use a stablecoin, for example, if I want to pay my Spanish teacher in Ecuador, I can do it instantly, and I can do it over the internet 24/7 over the weekend. So I really have a benefit here of sending cross-border money movement in a faster way. A second example is around stability. So if you live in one of these 80 countries that have an inflation rate higher than 10%, you have a keen interest in keeping your or swapping your local currency into a USD-backed stablecoin to preserve your spending and savings power. And then the last one is around settlement, something which you may not be familiar with in your day-to-day work. At Visa, it's a back-end process that happens at the end of the day. And really, settlement means when a transaction is really final by all parties involved. Now, again, settlement can take multiple times, it can be costly, But with a blockchain, it can automate and execute a transaction immediately. So as such, there's a high potential to reduce cost and to speed up transaction and settlement. So that's the first trend. Moving on to the second trend, new global payment networks. What do I mean by that? And it's really powered by the idea of asset tokenization. Asset tokenization has become very popular in the past year or so. And what is asset tokenization? It's the idea of taking the idea of money exchange and money movement, as we know it from stablecoins, for instance, and applying it to the idea of transferring an asset. Specifically, the ownership of an asset can be, or you can virtually tokenize any asset, and you can, just as you can send and receive Bitcoin today, in the future you can send and receive units of ownership over the blockchain network. And so as such, these new forms of tokenized asset can really power new marketplaces and new global payment networks. Let me show you the opportunity here. According to Citibank, that opportunity comes up to 4 to 5 trillion by 2030. BCG goes even a step higher, says it could be as high as 16 trillion. And again, the question comes up, in which areas are we going to see asset tokenization and these new markets that are being powered by blockchain technologies? And here are a few use cases. Again, not exhaustive, there may be plenty more use cases, but I want to focus on two specifically. So the first one is around tokenized cash that we've already seen. I've already touched upon stablecoins, but we're seeing lots of entities entering that space, whether it's central banks looking into tokenizing their central bank currencies, or whether it's banks that look into commercial bank money tokens or tokenized deposits. And all of that is the idea of bringing something on-chain and tokenizing it, empowering new use cases. Now, another interesting area is around assets and commodities. As I said, you can virtually tokenize anything. It may be an art piece, or it may be a real estate piece, and the opportunity that comes up for new markets and new e-commerce in that space is really that traditionally illiquid markets, like arts or like real estate, become liquid. And so the market, the entry barrier comes down for consumers to participate in these markets. So you can enter the market, you can, out of a sudden, as a retail investor, invest in it, and you can share and trade and sell and do things with these assets. So very exciting new market that can be developed here. Again, just some examples, but an area that is exciting for us to watch. What's Visa doing in the space? You can see we've been testing and exploring and piloting a lot of these in these areas in the past. We started in 2021 with the Central Bank of Singapore. We have done additional pilots in Brazil, in Hong Kong, all the way down to launching a CBDC link card in Kazakhstan. I don't want to go much into detail here, but if you're interested in this area, we do have the networking stage, and I will be around later to talk more about this if you're keen to learn more about it. So what's the third trend? Digital form factor for assets and fiat. And what do I mean by that? Crypto and NFTs have really emerged into a $1 trillion asset class. And as that asset class, we really see that there is demand for consumers to participate in that asset class. Now, how do I substantiate that claim? If you look at the data of number of transactions, or as the number of unique wallet addresses that there are out there, you can see there has been a steady increase from 2013 to 2023. And that clearly shows there is an interest of consumers to purchase crypto, to purchase NFTs, and to do something with it. Again, same question as in the trends before. Why do consumers go into it, and for what do they purchase it? And again, 3 use cases. The first one is transactions. So you can use your crypto to purchase goods and services, particularly online. Why would you do that? There may be certain benefits associated with doing that online with a cryptocurrency, like privacy or lower transaction fees. It may also be around control. So there may be consumers who do not want to be dependent on a central authority, want to have more ownership, want to have the ownership of their assets, and so that could be another use case. And then lastly, of course, the investment side. People are hoping that the price goes up and thereby have a new diversification asset class in their portfolio. What's Visa working on in all of these areas? These are opportunities where we see growth, where we see new applications and new forms of money movements happening. And so we tap into all of these opportunities in particular ways. The first 2 points here describe what we call the on and off ramps. So we want to make it very easy for consumers to use their Visa card to purchase crypto transactions. So you can use your Visa card to fund your wallet, and we partner with lots of acquirers and payment processors and gateways in that space. The second area is around the off-ramp. So when you have your crypto and you want to make it easy to spend your crypto, you can use your Visa card for that. And the way we do that is by partnering with crypto exchanges. We're partnering with more than 65 wallet providers today. We're hoping to expand it, so if there is any wallet or exchange out here that has not issued a Visa card yet, please reach out to us today. And then we do have plenty of products that help to speed up. So we know that 70% of consumers are more interested in using their card compared to doing a wire transfer. And so we have products that enable to do faster top-ups of your wallet, and we have a learning session later today with my colleague Bo. You need to be on the lookout for some stairs to go up to find the room. But if you're keen to learn more about that, please follow that stage later on. A third area is around helping our clients to navigate the space. So we want to explain them what crypto is. In the traditional world, where you see banks, whether it's an issuer or an acquirer, they still need to be learning and are on a learning journey. So we do have established a consulting practice that goes in and helps them to develop their own crypto strategies. And then fourth, an area which I didn't touch upon widely today, but you maybe got a little glimpse of it when I talked about the settlement side, is how can we use blockchain technologies to improve our own processes and products. And the way we do that is by exploring something that we call digital currency settlement, so that our issuers and acquirers can settle with Visa using a stablecoin that runs over a public blockchain network. And then lastly, we actively explore with our banks, so our clients, but also the central banks, everything around the idea of tokenized assets and central bank digital currencies. That space is very early on, it's very explorative, but we see that the interest is still there and that governments are really into that space. And so 50 minutes is always very short. I hope I was able to give you a little bit of a glimpse into what we get excited about, but also what we're doing. And so if you're in that space, and if you're interested to partner with Visa, please reach out to us afterwards. You can also find me on LinkedIn and connect with me over there. Thank you so much.